Welcome to GameVault HQ. Today, we're diving into the grimy, card-flipping, adrenaline-pumping world of Dungeons Degenerate Gamblers, the latest entry in the roguelike deck-building genre. Developed by Purple Moss Collectors and published by Yogscast Games, this title has been generating a buzz since its release in August 2024. Whether you're a card game aficionado or a roguelike veteran, Dungeons Degenerate Gamblers offers a unique experience that blends the strategy of Blackjack with the unpredictability of a dungeon crawler. Dungeons Degenerate Gamblers isn't your typical card game. At its core, it takes the classic rules of Blackjack and flips them on their head. Rather than playing against the dealer, you're pitted against other gamblers in a high-stakes duel where the goal is to whittle down your opponent's health bar by scoring higher without busting. Each hand becomes a strategic puzzle where every hit or stand could mean the difference between victory and defeat. What sets this game apart from your average blackjack match is the inclusion of a plethora of wild and quirky cards. These aren't just standard playing cards. They're imbued with unique effects that can drastically alter the course of a game. Imagine drawing a card that forces your opponent to stand regardless of their score, or a card that lets you turn any number into a 21. The possibilities are as thrilling as they are endless, and they give each match a fresh and exciting feel. One of the game's strengths is its accessibility. It's easy to pick up, especially for those familiar with Blackjack. However, the real depth lies in mastering the various wild cards and understanding how to synergize them with your deck. While the core mechanics are simple, hit, stand, get as close to 21 as possible, the strategic layer is much richer, demanding careful consideration of every move. This complexity is where the game both shines and occasionally stumbles. Some players might find the learning curve a bit steep, especially when it comes to understanding the nuances of the more complex cards. For instance, certain mechanics, like using advantage to trigger special effects, aren't as intuitive as they could be. This can lead to some frustration as you try to grasp the finer points of the game, particularly when facing off against opponents with decks full of unfamiliar cards. But once you get the hang of it, the game rewards you with a deeply satisfying strategic experience. Visually, Dungeons Degenerate Gamblers opts for a gritty, down-and-dirty aesthetic that fits its theme perfectly. The game plunges you into a world where every corner is filled with shady characters, and every table is a potential battlefield. The artwork is detailed, with each card and environment dripping with personality. However, it's worth noting that the visual style might not be to everyone's taste, particularly those who prefer a more polished or vibrant look. The atmosphere is further enhanced by the game's sound design, which captures the tense, almost suffocating feel of a smoke-filled gambling den. The music and sound effects add to the immersion, making each victory feel sweeter and each loss sting a bit more. Like any good roguelike, Dungeons Degenerate Gamblers thrives on replayability. Each run offers a new set of challenges, with different decks to unlock and a variety of difficulty levels that will keep even the most seasoned players on their toes. The game encourages experimentation, allowing you to try out different strategies and combinations of cards to see what works best. However, not everything is perfect. Some players might find the game's reliance on RNG, random number generation, a bit too heavy, especially when luck seems to be the deciding factor in key moments. While this can add to the tension and excitement, it can also lead to some frustrating defeats that feel out of your control. Additionally, the game's content, while varied, may not have the same staying power as some of its genre peers. The lack of unlockable cards over time means that the thrill of discovering new strategies might fade quicker than expected. Despite this, the fundamental gameplay loop remains strong, ensuring that each session is engaging and challenging. So, is Dungeons Degenerate Gamblers worth your time? If you're a fan of deck-building games or enjoy the strategic depth of Blackjack, then absolutely. The game offers a unique twist on familiar mechanics, wrapped in a gritty, immersive package that's hard to resist. While it does have a few rough edges, like the steep learning curve and occasional reliance on luck, these are minor setbacks in what is otherwise a thoroughly enjoyable experience. The game's charm lies in its unpredictability and the thrill of outwitting your opponents with a well-timed card play. It's a game that rewards strategy and patience, with just enough chaos thrown in to keep things interesting. Whether you're diving in for a quick match or settling in for a marathon session, Dungeons and Degenerate Gamblers is a roll of the dice that's well worth taking. That's it for today's review on GameVault HQ. If you've tried out Dungeons and Degenerate Gamblers, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more gaming content. Until next time, keep your cards close and your bets high.